Hey, Scorpio. Welcome back to Astro Forecast. This channel is all about helping you understand the cosmic weather, so you can move through life with clarity, confidence, and a little bit of that Scorpio edge. Now, before we dive into your August 2026 forecast, the 3 pieces of good news and the one you need to watch out for, I want to take a quick moment to tell you about something that might genuinely change the way you see yourself and your future. Look, I know a lot of you watch these monthly videos, and they're great for getting a general sense of what's coming. But here's the thing, this is a general reading. Your personal birth chart, that's where the real magic happens. It's like the difference between checking the weather for your entire country versus knowing exactly what the temperature is going to be in your backyard at 3 p.m. tomorrow. So here's what we offer. If you want to go deeper, and I mean really deep, we do personalized birth chart readings that map out your unique strengths, challenges, and soul purpose. We do relationship compatibility readings for those of you trying to figure out if that connection is karmic or cosmic. Soulmate readings for the ones still searching. Career readings and life purpose readings for anyone standing at a crossroads. We also offer year-ahead forecasts, monthly forecasts tailored to your chart, transit readings, solar return readings, business astrology, marriage timing readings, dating pattern analysis, breakup recovery guidance, money and wealth readings, and question-based personal guidance. Basically, if you've got a question, the stars have an answer. The link to book any of these is right there in the description box. It's a WhatsApp chat link, so just tap it, say hi, and we'll take it from there. No pressure, no hard sell, just real astrology, real guidance, real results. All right, with that out of the way, let's talk about your August, Scorpio, because this month, it's a lot. August 2026 is not a quiet month for you, not by a long shot. We've got 7 major planetary shifts hitting your chart, and they are not playing small. Venus enters Libra on the 6th. Mercury storms into Leo on the 9th. Mars charges into Cancer on the 11th. Then we get a double whammy on the 12th. A new moon and a solar eclipse, both in Leo. The Sun moves into Virgo on the 23rd. Mercury follows on the 25th. And we close out the month with a full moon in Pisces on the 28th. That's a lot of energy, a lot of movement, a lot of potential. And here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to break this down into 3 pieces of genuinely good news, things that are working for you this month, and 1 piece of bad news. Not catastrophic, not world-ending, but something you need to be aware of so it doesn't blindside you. Let's start with the good stuff, because honestly, Scorpio, there's plenty of it. Good news number 1. Okay, Scorpio, the first piece of good news, and it's a big one, is that your career and public standing are about to get a serious glow-up. On August 9th, Mercury enters Leo, which for you activates your 10th house of career, reputation, and public achievement. This is the house of CEOs, of people who step into the spotlight and own it. And Mercury here, it's giving you the mental clarity, the persuasive power, and the strategic thinking to absolutely crush it in your professional life. But that's just the warm-up. Because on August 12th, mark this date, seriously, write it down, we get a new moon and solar eclipse in Leo right in that same 10th house. And eclipses, as you probably know, are cosmic reset buttons. They close old chapters and open new ones, sometimes dramatically, sometimes overnight. This eclipse is sitting in a square to your sign, which means it's going to push you. It's not going to let you stay comfortable in a job, a role, or a professional identity that no longer fits who you're becoming. And for some of you, that push is going to feel like a sudden opportunity, a promotion, a new job offer, a chance to step into leadership that you didn't see coming. For others, it might feel like the universe is forcing your hand, making it impossible to ignore the fact that you've outgrown your current situation. But here's the beautiful thing. Jupiter is also in Leo right now, and it's been there since late June. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, luck, and abundance. And in your 10th house, It's one of the best career transits you can have. Some astrologers call this a once-in-a-decade kind of opportunity. So what does this actually mean for you in practical terms? It means that if you've been thinking about applying for that promotion, pitching that big idea, launching that business, or even completely changing industries, August, and especially the period around the 12th, is your green light. The universe is basically saying, go for it, we've got your back. Your professional voice is louder right now. Your ideas carry more weight. Authority figures are noticing you, and the eclipse energy is primed to deliver a new beginning that could redefine your public image for the next 6 to 18 months. One thing I want to emphasize here, this isn't about playing it safe. Mercury in Leo wants bold, confident communication. The eclipse wants transformation. Jupiter wants growth. So don't water yourself down. Don't shrink to make other people comfortable. This is your moment to step up and claim the professional recognition you've been working toward. And if you're self-employed or running a business, this is prime time for rebranding, launching a new product or service, or putting yourself out there in a bigger way. The visibility is there, the energy is there, you just have to meet it. Good news number 2. Alright, let's shift gears for a second, because the second piece of good news is happening in a much quieter, more private part of your life, but it's no less powerful. On August 6th, Venus enters Libra, and for you, Scorpio, that lands in your 12th house of the subconscious, hidden matters, and spiritual retreat. Now, the 12th house isn't flashy. It's the deep, underwater part of your chart, where old wounds live, where your subconscious patterns play out, and where your most private desires hide. And Venus here? It's actually doing something beautiful. For the next several weeks, you're being given cosmic permission to turn inward, to rest, to heal, to release relational baggage that you've been carrying around for way too long. This is the house of closure, of letting go, of making peace with the past, so you can move forward lighter. You might find yourself drawn to solitary practices, meditation, journaling, long walks alone, creative work that nobody else sees. You might feel a sudden clarity about a relationship dynamic that's been confusing you for months, or even years. Things that were murky suddenly start making sense. Patterns you couldn't see before, they become obvious. And here's something really interesting. Venus in the 12th house often brings hidden desires to the surface. Desires you didn't even know you had. Maybe it's a creative project you've been too scared to start. Maybe it's a romantic longing you've been suppressing. Maybe it's a financial goal that felt too big to admit out loud. Whatever it is, this transit is like a flashlight shining into the corners of your psyche, and what it reveals is going to surprise you. There's also a strong theme of self-forgiveness here. Scorpios are notorious for holding grudges, especially against themselves. You replay conversations, you obsess over mistakes, you punish yourself for things other people forgot about years ago. Venus in Libra in your 12th house is saying, enough. It's time to extend the same compassion to yourself that you so readily give to others. So if you've been feeling the urge to take a social media break, to cancel plans and stay home, to just be with yourself for a while, honor that. It's not avoidance. It's not depression. It's necessary spiritual maintenance, and it's going to pay off in ways you can't even see yet. Good news number 3. Now, the third piece of good news, and this one kicks in later in the month, is all about your community, your friendships, and your future vision. On August 23rd, the Sun enters Virgo, activating your 11th house of social networks, groups, and long-term goals. Then, on the 25th, Mercury follows into Virgo, and suddenly, your social life isn't just about hanging out, it's about strategic connection. The 11th house is where your tribe lives. It's the people who get you, who support your dreams, who show up when it matters. And with the Sun and Mercury here, you're going to be magnetically drawn to people who share your values, your work ethic, and your vision for the future. This is an incredible time for networking, for joining groups, organizations, or communities that align with where you want to go, for stepping into a leadership role within your social circles. You might find yourself organizing events, spearheading initiatives, or simply becoming the person that others naturally turn to for guidance and support. But it's not just about quantity, it's about quality. Virgo energy is discerning, it's analytical, it doesn't waste time on surface-level connections. So you're going to start evaluating your friendships and professional networks with a much clearer eye. Who's actually supporting your growth? Who's draining your energy? Who's just taking up space? And here's the thing. Some of you might realize that certain friendships have run their course. That's okay. Virgo gives you the clarity and the courage to let go of what no longer serves you, so you can make room for the people who actually belong in your next chapter. There's also a strong tech and online community angle here. Mercury in Virgo in your 11th house is fantastic for digital projects, social media strategy, online networking, and anything that involves communicating with a wider audience through technology. If you've been thinking about starting a podcast, a YouTube channel, an online community, or even just leveling up your LinkedIn game, this is your window. Your long-term goals also come into sharp focus during this period. The 11th house is the house of hopes, dreams, and wishes, the big picture stuff. And with the sun illuminating this area, you're going to feel a renewed sense of optimism about what's actually possible for you. Not in a vague, wishful thinking kind of way, but in a practical, here's the step-by-step plan to get there kind of way. So start mapping it out, write it down, make it real, because the energy between the 23rd and the end of the month is some of the best manifestation energy you've had in a while. The bad news. Okay, Scorpio, now for the part you probably scrolled ahead to see, the bad news. And honestly, it's not that bad, but it is something you need to take seriously, because ignoring it could turn a manageable situation into a real problem. On August 11th, Mars enters Cancer, and for you that activates your 9th house of higher learning, belief systems, long-distance travel, and expansion. Now Mars is your traditional ruling planet. It's your natural energy source. And in Cancer, it's not exactly comfortable. Cancer is a water sign just like you, but it's emotionally driven, nurturing, and protective. Mars is action, aggression, and drive. When you put them together, you get someone who's very motivated by their feelings, and sometimes those feelings can run hot. Here's what this means practically. You're going to feel a powerful urge to defend your beliefs, your philosophies, and your personal truths this month. And that's not inherently bad. In fact, it can be incredibly empowering. But the danger lies in how you defend them. Mars in Cancer can make you reactive, defensive, quick to take things personally, especially when it comes to your worldview, your education, or your sense of adventure. You might find yourself in heated debates with people who challenge your perspective. You might feel an almost compulsive need to prove that you're right, to win the argument, to come out on top. And if you're not careful, that energy can spill over into impulsive decisions, especially around travel, education, or legal matters. The 9th house rules all of those things, and Mars here can make you rush into a big decision without thinking it through. A trip that seems like a great idea in the moment, but turns out to be stressful. A course or certification you sign up for impulsively and then regret. A legal or philosophical battle that drains more energy than it's worth. There's also a physical component here. Mars in Cancer can manifest as digestive issues, inflammation, or general burnout if you're not managing your stress levels. Your body is going to be more sensitive to emotional turbulence this month, so you need to be proactive about self-care. Not the glamorous kind, the boring, consistent kind. Sleep, hydration, boundaries, saying no when you need to. And one more thing, because Mars is your planet, this transit is going to feel personal. You're going to feel it in your bones. So when you notice yourself getting riled up, getting defensive, feeling that Scorpio sting rising to the surface, pause, breathe, ask yourself, is this battle worth my energy? Is this the hill I want to die on? Sometimes the most powerful thing a Scorpio can do is choose not to engage, to let the other person be wrong, to save your fire for something that actually matters.